Hey everyone, this is Edward. I'm on question 1 of my 205 Philosophical Questions Challenge, wherein I will try and answer 205 philosophical questions that I got off of the internet. This may end up being a total waste of time. I may only get 10 questions in, or perhaps if I'm lucky, halfway in. If I complete it, then I will go on to some new questions perhaps. Of course, anyone who's watching, please feel free to send in your own questions or just to ask me why the hell I'm wasting my time with this. I may or may not have a good answer for that. So how about we just get right into it? The first question that I'm trying to do is, what harsh truths do you prefer to ignore? Okay, so harsh truths. So I guess here, these are things that are telling us something bad about life that we would prefer to not really think about, right? So I took a little bit of a look online. I haven't done too much preparation for this question, and I don't think I'll do too much preparation for the other questions. I'll mostly think off the top of my head. This may be a bad idea as well. So I took a little look online, did a little research. First thing that always pops up for this type of question is, of course, you're going to die. I think we all probably want to ignore this question, or this truth, rather. But, you know, I think we can all intellectually understand we're going to die, but I don't know if we can ever really grasp that concept until it happens. Is it bad? I don't know. Certainly if you're religious, you probably don't care, unless you're going to the bad place. But if you think there's heaven, well then good for you. No worries there for dying. For the rest of us who aren't sure what's going to happen when you die, could be a little bit more scary. At best, I think it's like going to sleep. So, we don't need to ignore that one. Nothing lasts forever. Similar sort of idea as you're going to die, I guess. But we can take this wider, I guess, for relationships, for family, for that dog you love. He's going to die. So, nothing lasts forever. Well, I think this one is sometimes worth ignoring. You don't need to think about this when you buy that new dog, right? I mean, hey, here's the new puppy. Remember, he's going to die. I don't like that. So I might ignore that one. Or maybe something just to keep in the back of your mind, what would be the next dog, perhaps? Let's see. You will never be perfectly happy. Well, I suppose this one is almost advice, really, right? Sort of be accepting of where you are now and know that you'll never achieve everything that you want. So I think this one is actually something that's worth paying attention to, right? You need to constantly strive to better your life, perhaps, but know that you will never really achieve that. But that doesn't mean give up either. But I suppose this also helps you avoid disappointment. So I think this is something worthwhile keeping. People will let you down. Yeah, I think we've all experienced this. And I think this one could be worth keeping as well. I don't think we should ignore this. It is tempting, but I think if you're kind of cynical like I am, you actually go around most of the time thinking this anyway. So, I'm not that disappointed when someone lets me down because, you can only pleasantly surprise me if you actually did what I thought you were going to do. Next one. You're not the center of the universe. Well, it certainly feels that way to most of us. And I think things like YouTube, which maybe this video is on, Instagram, Facebook, these are all set up to make us feel like we're the center of the universe. I don't think that's particularly good, but, our minds are set up in a way to put us as the main character in the story, right? We're not the supporting actor of our life. We are the main character. So in that sense, I suppose you really are the center of the universe, at least in your own story. This, in a way, implies that perhaps someone or something is the center of the universe. So Maybe if you went where they are, you could be the center of the universe. So perhaps don't give up on that. But either way, I think being humble is probably worthwhile for most of us. What else? No matter what you do, someone will dislike you. Well, if you've made it this far in the video, perhaps you found that you dislike me. So, too bad for you. This is a harsh truth that you should remember. Do people dislike me? Of course they do. No matter what I do, I seem to have some enemy. So I find this one rather funny, though. Why does someone hate you? Well, who knows? But, if you don't have good enemies, you probably aren't living a good life anyway. So that one's okay to keep. What else do we have? You will fail a lot in life. Yes, I think that is true. I think this is not even really a harsh truth. I think it's just a reasonable truth. This video may be failing right now. I may delete it. Everything you try, probably you fail the first time, unless you're very, very lucky. Most of us learn from failure. So in that sense, it's a good thing to fail. If you succeed always on the first try, I would probably put that down to luck anyway. And what are you learning actually from that? Most likely you already knew how to do that, so it's not really a new experience for you. So failure, that's good. I don't think it's that harsh of a truth. The past is already written. I actually had to read a little bit more about what they were trying to say here. Basically, you can't change the past, so stop bothering about it. Is that a harsh truth? Or just a recognition of reality there? I suppose stop dwelling on the past as a piece of advice. And look to the future. But, of course, the future is uncertain as well and could be worse than the past. So, are you optimistic or pessimistic? You could go either way on this one. Actually, the next one is basically the same. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Yes, you might die in the next 5 seconds. You won't make it to tomorrow. Harsh truth? Don't know. It's basically you're going to die, isn't it? And as we mentioned, is that scary? Maybe for some of us. For the rest of you, probably not. If you really believe in what you believe. So, no tomorrow, well, so what, right? Okay, you have more time than you think you do. This one kind of goes against perhaps some of the popular thinking here, because people always say, oh, you don't have tomorrow. But here they're saying, well, you have more time. But I can see what they're saying. We live on average perhaps 70 years. That's a lot of days, a lot of hours, a lot of minutes. If you're sitting in front of the TV doing nothing, perhaps you're wasting your time. But doing it every so often, maybe it's not such a big deal either, given that you will be around for a long time still. So it's okay to watch another episode of The Simpsons, perhaps. And don't feel too bad about it. This actually sounds positive now I say it like that. It doesn't sound very harsh at all. So, You will not find your passion. Yeah, I kind of agree with this one. What is your passion? I think we've just been raised, particularly now, the young people have been raised to sort of believe that you should always have a passion and that should be your job. If you had $100 million, what work would you do? That's supposed to be your passion. But, for me, if you gave me $100 million, I don't know if I would do anything. Is my passion doing nothing? Seems kind of stupid, that. Although, a passion for nothing sounds pretty good. I could sit on a beach doing nothing, right? Sit on a mountainside doing nothing. Could be good. I've got my Japanese umeshu here. I'm hoping it'll give me some creativity, get my brain thinking, or otherwise just make things go smoother for you. Let's see what else we have here. Time's going fast. The world only cares about what you offer, not who you are Or perhaps we can simply say, you are not special. Makes me think of Fight Club, for those who've seen that movie. You are not a beautiful and unique snowflake. Truer words have probably not been spoken. And is this a harsh truth? Perhaps. I think people do like to believe that we are successful because of who we are. People just like us. We have great ideas. But the idea, I suppose, is not enough. It's what you actually create, what people can touch or read or see. We all have those amazing ideas in our heads, but if we don't tell anyone about them, we don't do anything with them, it's a waste. So, yeah, I think this one is true, and it is harsh, but I think it's not worth ignoring, because this would help you be successful, right? This helps you focus on real, clear, physical success, not just your own beliefs in your head. Ooh, next one. You're never going to be satisfied. Yeah, I know this one. I'm not satisfied all the time. But again, I think it's worthwhile trying to get to that sort of satisfaction level from time to time if you can manage it. This is sort of an ongoing process of improvement. You may never be satisfied, but I think you could be more satisfied than you were in the past. Like even right now, sometimes, I hear my voice and I say, my voice could sound a bit better than that. Maybe it sounds like I'm going through puberty sometimes, I think. Maybe it doesn't sound that bad to you. So you're never going to be satisfied. Not really a harsh truth, I think, that we need to ignore. Again, this is something that is a good reminder, but it's not something you should sort of push against too much, right? You should be trying to improve your life, right? You should be trying to get to something that does somewhat satisfy you. You'll never find the perfect time, so start. This one reads like it's from a business self-help book or something, right? But it's true. And I don't even think that's a harsh truth, but it's good advice. People always say, I'm busy. And then they never do anything. In my own personal life, meditation is something I try and do more of. My goal was to do 10 minutes a day, right? So 24 hours, just need to do 10 minutes of meditation. And it took me months and months before I could get anywhere close to doing this every day, right? And I'm not that busy, right? I come home and I could easily do it, but oh no, I'm a bit tired now, or it's dinner time, or I need to watch the TV, or got to read the book or something. Somehow there's no 10 minutes in the day. So, this is total crap, right? So yeah, just do it. If you're thinking about something, just do it. Yeah, there's never a good time for things anyway. Another thing I think of, children. If you want a child or something, I always thought, you shouldn't have a child until everything's perfect, right? Until you've got the $1 million job and the perfect house and the cars and the summer house, and you've already prepaid for college for the child and all of that. That's all bullshit too, right? My first child is on the way. I don't have a perfect life, but it's exciting. So maybe I'll talk about that a little bit more in some of the other videos too. Let's see. Well, actually, here's a good one. Getting near the end. Human beings aren't rational. Yeah. This is sort of like I was just saying about the meditation. I can sort of make that sort of rational decision like, meditation is good. It will help my life, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes down to it, it was probably more my emotions saying, laziness, or just feels comfortable sitting on the couch. Not really making these decisions rationally when it is actually happening, right? My emotions or whatever's happening in my subconscious, which is probably a lot of emotions as well, is really sort of controlling my life perhaps. I don't think that's a harsh truth. I think we all know this. I think we all know we're very emotional. I'm thinking we're even more critical of other people, right? Everyone else is emotional. We're rational. Everyone else is stupid. Yeah. And, two final ones. Luck plays a massive role in your life. Yeah. I think this one is something that we all ignore. We shouldn't ignore it, but we do ignore it, right? Every time, I think particularly for Americans, I don't know if you're watching this, if you're from America or not, but I grew up in America, originally from England, but I grew up in America. And there, it's very, very common that someone will say, or is desperate to say, I'm successful just because of me. I didn't rely on anyone else, and it certainly wasn't luck, right? We've got to prove to everyone that it was something that we personally did. Like even Donald Trump, right? He was born a millionaire. He's got to prove to everyone that somehow he had to work his way up. Right? He had a tough time. It was very difficult in his life. Like, no one gave me anything, he says. It's stupid. So, like, he was lucky, right? Born to a super rich dad, right? Everyone, right? It just comes down to luck, right? If you are super smart, right? You've worked hard all your life. There's no guarantees, right? There's just another random guy. Maybe he's equally smart and he was just in the right place at the right time. And he got the big success and you didn't. Yeah, so it really does come down to luck. It is worth reminding yourself about that, I would say. Final one, kind of interesting one. People judge a book by its cover. I think this is particularly important to remind ourselves now in these days where everyone is sort of talking about what's internal to ourselves. But we do make these sort of snap judgments about each other, right? Excuse me. We do make these judgments about each other and how we look. It's sometimes a subconscious thing, sometimes it's a conscious thing. Like, we already know tall people are more successful at work. Handsome people, beautiful people, they seem to do better in life. Politicians, if you put the ugly guy next to the handsome guy, people always pick the handsome guy. They don't even care what the ideas are. The better looking person wins. Is this good? No, probably not, right? We should be focusing really, what's happening in that person's head. But we don't. It is worth remembering, what can you do in your own life? Well, you go to a job interview or something, don't wear a t-shirt and shorts if that's not the style. Put on a suit, look the part, perhaps. Harsh truth? Nah, probably not, but good reminder for success in life, perhaps. Well, all right, that actually went longer than I thought it would take, but that's all right. Next video, I will go on to question 2. In the meantime, if you've watched this and enjoyed it, please like it. And if you want, send me some more questions. I'll put them on the list and eventually get to them if I survive the other 205 questions, or 204 now. So that's good. Anyway, I'll see you next time.